Hello everyone and welcome back to the Engler Journey podcast. Today I'm here with a pork enthusiast from the Engler program who has such courage, drive, and grit. And it's Vickie Ference, and it's so nice to have you here today.
Yes, Olivia, I'm super excited to talk a little bit about my Engler journey, but also what I learned along the way.
Yeah, I know you have so many different experiences in the Engler program that we can talk about, and I'm so excited to hear about all of it. Can you just tell us a little bit about your background and where you grew up and how you came to the Engler program?
Yes, so first of all, hi, I'm Vickie Ference. I'm from Ord, Nebraska, and I'm very proud that I'm from Ord, Nebraska. I graduated from Ord Junior Senior High, and I'm a proud Chanticleer, even though we are fighting roosters. And then, so my background, I was raised on a family operation. We did a couple cow-calf pairs, and we had some pigs for 4-H and FFA when I was little, and we always had a big garden. But my dad, he was an ag teacher. He was my ag teacher, and he kind of helped us find the love of agriculture. And then my mother came from a dairy operation, and they met at UNL, and they're happily married over 35 years. And then our family's just deep-rooted in agriculture in many different ways, from dad teaching ag to my brother being an agronomist to me now running my own pork operation and having my degree in agriculture education.
Yeah, so you said that your dad, he's an ag teacher too. Has he inspired you to go into this career field?
Yes, he has definitely showed me the pros and cons of being in the ag field and how big of a blessing it is. So ever since I was little, I got to follow around the FFA members. I was probably their bonus little sister, maybe didn't want me all the time. But no, I truly loved seeing just not only his passion for agriculture, but passion for youth and making sure they felt valued and loved. Actually, my brother was also my ag teacher.
Oh, wow.
So yes, so he really pushed me to grow in my leadership skills. And he was don't let an opportunity slip up. You can do it. Don't be afraid. And he's the reason I tried for state office, because he was a state officer when I was in second grade. And I looked at him up on stage and I was like, I'm going to be one of those someday. And so yeah, he's been a huge role model in FFA, but also in agriculture for me. And so yeah, I had both my dad and my brother as my ag teachers.
Yeah, so that's kind of a fun family affair in FFA, and you said your brother was your ag teacher and he was also a state officer, and you were a state officer as well. What was that experience like?
So it was, first off, amazing to be able to look back and see how many students Johnny impact, but now getting to be in his shoes freshman year and getting to see still the students I get to talk to today. I think without Johnny being a state officer, I don't know if I would have ever taken that jump. So I'm happy that he showed me that's a pathway if I would like. But it was really cool because he says, Vickie, this is your journey and not mine. But it was also nice to have someone who's already been through it. So on the hard days, you're like, okay, Johnny, what do I do? But also on the good days, he knew how exciting it was to be up on stage or also just connect with one student. And so it was a really cool experience to be in that role, and I still have lifelong friendships from being a state officer. So yeah.
Yeah, so you gained a lot of leadership skills from being in FFA and gained a lot of connections, just like you did in the Engler program. So turning to that, can you talk a little bit about some of the leadership opportunities you've had in Engler or some of your favorite experiences?
Yeah, 100%. So I think some of my leadership opportunities that I've gotten is being on the recruitment team and helping people find their place within the Engler program. Then I also got to be a part of the experience team, which that entailed planning different events and making sure that everyone knew that they had a place here and that we kept the culture really strong with Engler. Paul has a huge mission that you can't do entrepreneurship alone, so we shouldn't. And so let's have that community, let's have those people together. And so getting to be the person that got to plan the events for people and just see the smiles, the laughter, and sometimes even tears was so beautiful and so amazing. But probably one of my favorite experiences was being the TA for 201, which is the build your own business with $50. You see how to kind of make a start of a business plan, but also how to fail really quick, how to make money, but also that it's not always sunshine and rainbows, but being able to coach those students and be like, hey, we've been there. You can, you got to dust off those boots and keep trailing on. It was so cool to also work under Brennan Costello and just learn what entrepreneurship meant to him and get to see what my definition of entrepreneurship was too.
Yeah, and I know I was in that class as well.
Yes.
And you really made an impact on all of us because of what you were telling us about entrepreneurship and how to keep going forward and to fail fast and fail forward. And that's really what this community is all about, just to keep working forward. So could you tell me, like, what was your first experience, like the first time you came into Engler? What did that feel like, and who did you talk to?
Yeah, so fun fact, I never went on a school visit.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was the COVID year, and I said, I'm not going to a school visit online. So I actually didn't know if I was going to college at all. And then I saw this scholarship, and Hallie Ramsey was from Ord. And so I kind of heard a little bit about it, but I applied for this scholarship, and a statement that Tom said to me is, just to let you know, we're not looking for you to come to UNL. We're looking for you to join our community. That's a way different lookout on college. I'm like, they don't just want my money. Like, truthfully, no, they wanted me as a person. Like, they're investing in me and not just that I come to UNL. And that day I was like, okay, these people are different and they're driven and everything like that. But I do have to say hats off to Tom for after state office. I was trying to figure out, like, can I start my business? Like, I was so homesick. I was very, very low, and he was like, Vic, how can I help you? And I'm like, well, here's my 3 options. I need either Ord, move to Lincoln. I need my family move to Lincoln. And I really miss pigs. Like, I truly do. And he was like, I don't think I can move your family to Lincoln or Ord, but let's bring back the pigs. That day, he gave me the okay to be an entrepreneur. He gave me the okay to live out a dream. So, yeah, no, like, Engler takes like small dreams and puts it in perspective, and that was really one, like, first of all, I wasn't even in this space, and I just knew that these people were really driven.
Yeah, and what would you tell students about going and talking to the staff? Because a lot of times people are probably like, oh, they're back there, but can I go and talk to them? What would you say about that?
I always say that you always want to build your network. And being a student teacher this past semester, it is crucial to build relationships with them as fast as possible, because your 4 years here are quick. Looking back now, I'm like, I should have reached out before I even came to college, or I should have asked for advice before. Like, I got scared. But no, don't be afraid. If there's a worry on your heart, or I have Dave still look at my business plan. So, like, don't be afraid to just be like, hey, like, can you be that extra set of eyes? Can you help me make this decision? Because y'all, they are some of the smartest people I know and the most driven, and they're going to put you first and believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. So don't hesitate to ask them for that help, or ask them, am I crazy? I will say, though, they are very, like, one, Dave, I have to laugh, because my freshman year, I brought him in my pitch. And I was pretty proud of that pitch. I was like, this is the best thing. It's amazing. And I showed it to him, and he says, this is not going to get you anywhere. And I was like, excuse me, like, that's crazy. But he helped me then formulate what an actual pitch is supposed to be like. It's supposed to tell a story. It's supposed to inform those people in a quick 3 minutes. And he was probably right, because like 2 days later, I won some money with the pitch competition, because he knew I was doing the wrong target. And so don't be afraid to ask them for help, because the alumni, your peers, and the staff are all here to help you.
And the staff, I mean, they are true role models. And I know that you have had some thoughts about what a role model means to you.
Yeah.
Could you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, first of all, like, the staff are huge role models, and just, like, some of them own a lot of businesses, and you don't even know it until you have that conversation with them. But I'm lucky enough to have role models all the way from my priest, Father Scott, and just, like, how he shares the gospel and the words to people, to my parents coming from very, very humble beginnings and helping their kids build their dreams up. Also, some past teachers who have believed in me when I didn't believe myself. To my siblings telling me, hey, you need to get your work done. So some accountability partners. But I have been asked so many times, what's your 5-year plan? What does the next 10 years look like for you? And you sit down and you're a 21-year-old and you're like, I have no idea. But after taking some time and just sitting and reflecting, the 5-year Vickie, or the 10-year Vickie that I've been kind of like picturing, I've kind of like understood, like, she is my role model. She's who I want to be. And if I don't take the steps now, I'm not going to be able to meet my role model. And so it's been really beautiful how, like, the Lord has been putting it in perspective for me, that your future self should be one of your biggest role models, because that's the only person you can actually control. And so it's been so cool to see that role models in my life have embraced who they truly are, and that we need to embrace who we truly are, because we're perfect and there's no mistake that we're here.
Because of all these people, they've helped you get to where you are today and pushed you to continue working on your business. So I'd love to talk about pigs now, because I showed pigs as well. So could you talk a little bit about your pork business?
It's Vickie's ExtraORDinary pork, but if you ask me, it's ExtraORDinary pork.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so the ord is very highlighted, and the reason I named it is, so I'm Vickie. ExtraORDinary has ord in it. And it's very good pork, and it's direct to consumer. The pigs are raised humanely, and they have very good feed rations, and Ord's in the middle of it because it raised me as a person. And I feel like without Ord, I would not be the person I am today. And I think if I put Ord in the middle of my business, it will be successful, because I could not just do a business for myself. I needed to figure out a way to bring value back to my community in some way. So it's like kind of also putting Ord on the map and stuff. So what people do is, so I have like 7 pigs going in June for an example, and I reach out to past customers and be like, hey, let's fill those freezers, and I'm selling half and full hogs. Well, my butcher just got USDA approved, so I'm in the process of opening a storefront at the end or beginning of like September, October, November, kind of that range. And yeah, I'll be opening a storefront downtown Ord. It's north of the square, and I'm hoping to have that open like 4 to 5 days a week, and having that community come in, get some amazing bacon for breakfast on that Sunday morning, or pork chops, or all the good stuff. So I'm just like super excited that it's been 3 years in April, and we're not going anywhere. We're gonna start working on shipments, start working on how to work with small businesses like coffee shops and all those different areas. I'm looking at getting into some marinas maybe. Be on the lookout, because Vickie's ExtraORDinary pork will be in a lot of different locations soon.
Yeah, of course. And so how does the process work? Like, can people buy it online, or do they come exactly to your store? How does that work?
So right now, it's been more communication from like text messages and Facebook, but the website will be up soon. So be on the lookout. It'll be super exciting. And then the storefront, when that opens, like I can ship it to them, or they can come into the store, see what it looks like. And I'd love to see their smiling face. So yeah.
Yeah, I could even see you having like a food truck or a restaurant or something like that.
Hopefully in the future, yeah. And it kind of goes, people tell me that my wedding rental business and pork don't go hand in hand, but I'm like, hey, you might need pork loin and a backdrop for your wedding, so they do go hand in hand.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, you talked about the wedding business. How did you think about doing that with your pork business?
I was walking, like last summer, I took a job with economic development because I wanted to learn that side of business. How in a town do you bring value? Like that was a big thing for me, because Ord has given me so much, so how can I bring something back to them? And I was walking to get my coffee, of course, and I look over and there's this one blue building that I've just never seen. And I lived in Ord my entire life, and I looked and I was like, hey, who owns that? And they told me Eileen Bruja did, and she's looking to sell. Ever since I was little in pigtails, I wanted to own a business downtown, and I wanted to have a place where people could come together. And they told me she does a wedding rental decoration business. Well, I come from a very big family. My dad had 7 siblings and my mom had 4. And so we had weddings all the time, and I love the celebration and watching 2 people make a promise to the Lord that they're going to stay together forever. And so it's just a beautiful thing. And I asked myself that day, why not me? Because I love bringing opportunity to other people, but I asked myself first, why not me? And so a week later, I set up a visit. 2 weeks later, I decided to buy it. And this was all, like, it was 2 days before my 21st birthday, and now it's been a year since, like, those conversations happened, which is crazy. I started Grateful Adventures, and that's my new wedding rental decoration business, and I launched it April 29th to, like, really start it, but this summer's busy. We have 9 weddings coming up. I have a graduation actually this weekend. I already dropped off decorations, gonna get them back soon. Already just like the smiles that you get when they walk in, they're like, hey, can you help me make a special memory or a special moment at my event? It's been so filling. And don't get me wrong, I had to learn how to get wine out of tablecloths. Like, that's a new experience, but just to see people's smiles and laughter and even tears, because I'm going to have grateful adventures. There's going to be highs of when I'm like celebrating your wedding with you or your baby shower or your wedding shower. But there's also lows like helping people get through a funeral and not even just getting through it, but also reflecting on like how amazing that person was in their life. And if I can take just a little stress off of them and helping them get some good quality decorations, then I feel like I'm living out a bigger purpose than just myself.
Yeah, and it's really all about the people, giving back to the people, like in your community, like you were saying. And that's what we do here in Engler.
Yes.
We try and make an impact on other people and through our businesses. So could you talk about maybe like one experience that really stood out to you in Engler, like an event or maybe like the trek, something like that?
I think one event that just like truly warmed my heart was the Roots event.
Yeah.
And the Roots event, it was kind of crazy because Paul actually passed away. So it happened like in March and he passed away in May.
Yeah.
But that night we got to hear Paul's story. And it was told by Tom, but then we got to also learn about the letter of intent. We got to also hear from an alumni. And that night we got to understand what Engler is built on. What's the foundation? Like, why are we here? And just to see like the reflection piece of it, or like what are you going to do to give back to Engler, was so impactful to me. And that night, like, we also got to tell Paul, we sent him a video, Paul, I promise to, and a little saying. And I think it's beautiful that he got to see that before he passed away, so he knows how big of an impact he makes. Because I think sometimes that we forget, and I'm guilty of it too, is being grateful. Like having this space, having these community people. So like if you're hearing this podcast, don't be afraid to text like 3 people and just say, hey, thanks for being in my life. Because we forget to do it. And so that Roots event, that's what we did that night. We showed gratitude to Paul. We showed gratitude to what made us Engler, what started our community. And so that was an experience. Like I just remember that night laying in bed having goosebumps, being like, that was needed. And that's where, this is why Engler is going to stay here forever and really just help the next generations.
And because of what Paul did, he's changed lives. Like he's made that impact. And that's what you want to do as a FFA teacher. So could you talk about what you're doing now and what you're going to be doing like after? Because I know you're graduating, right? So what are you feeling right now, looking back? So senior Vickie would probably laugh at freshman Vickie a little bit. Just because freshman Vickie, she didn't want to meet any new people. She had her people back in Ord. She didn't want to be vulnerable. She would have laughed at you if you told her that she could have been a business owner. And I think it's beautiful that through this program, I've learned that my emotional intelligence / vulnerability is a beautiful thing, and it really can connect with people. I've also learned that I have lifelong friends that I never want to lose, and I actually got to live with him my last semester at college here. And I also learned that my heart is in teaching in some way. Yes, next year I'm not teaching in the classroom. I'm still teaching, though, in different ways. From next fall, I get to be the 2nd grade First Holy Communion teacher. I also get to help, just like some people starting businesses, I get to coach them. And I learned the connection that you have with these students really change them as a person. And I also learned how beautiful it is that the Lord gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. And I'm so grateful that I'm not trying to impress people now, because now I'm unapologetically myself. And it's so beautiful being able to step into an environment like Engler and getting told it's okay to have more than just one dream. Or, hey, we believe in this small town girl whose dreams are not too big. And so teaching, though, yes, I might not be in the classroom, but does not mean I'm not educating the next generation. Yeah, exactly. And I know you were talking about vulnerability and being able to be okay with that in the Engler program. Was Brave Convos a big thing for you?
Yes, definitely Brave Conversations. So I got to lead it my last year here. And with that, you get to show up for a group of women every single week and be like, hey girls, I want to grow mentally and emotionally. We have a lot of opportunities normally to grow physically, but sometimes we forget about those mentally and emotionally aspects. And so it's a place where I learned that I have people in my corner all the time that are not going to judge you for having a bad day. I loved when I walked in and I said, guys, I had a pig die. And they'd be like, oh dang, that's tough. Instead of, yeah, it happens. It's a different mindset of being like, oh no, like I need to be an open space for people, not, oh, how does this affect me? Because I've learned a lot with not comparing. Like comparison is like the thief of joy. And so like don't compare yourself being like, they're having a bad day. Well, you want to hear what happened to me? No, it's like, you had a bad day. Oh yeah, tell me about it. Is there anything like that I can do to help you? Or even just saying, oh, that really stinks. Like, I'm sorry that you have to go through that. And so it's been a place where I've changed my mindset of how can I fix someone instead of just being like, how can I be a space for someone?
Yeah.
So it's been a beautiful skill that I've learned.
Yeah, and there's more than just classes. That's just kind of what that proves, is that there are community events, there's Brave Convos, and it's just more than just like classes. It's that's why it's different from any other program on campus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we do forget. Because our classes are so cool. Like, yes, we don't have any tests or like those different things, but I will tell you, I worked harder in these classes, spent way more hours, gotten super, super exhausted, stayed up way more so many nights. But I wouldn't change it for the world because of the skills I've learned, the mindset that I've learned, the people that I've gained. Because it's not just checking a box here. It's how do you keep growing to become like a strong foundation so when you like leave Engler, you have a building. So it's been a beautiful thing. And yeah, community events, having Fireside, helping you connect and network, to also having Essential 40 people come and motivate you, being like, guys, like, we've been in your shoes, like, keep pushing on, you got this. And then you just see, like, the wall of all the different entrepreneurs in, like, that we've had go through the program, and you're just like, there's a space for me. Like, Engler is a space where anyone can choose to be anyone they want to be. I looked at the wall, we have an ostrich farmer, and I was like, oh, wow, I thought I was cool being a pig farmer. Like, they're so awesome. So no dream is too big. It's one step at a time. And I think one thing that sometimes we forget, though, in the Engler program is if there's one thing that doesn't fit your style, great, go to the next thing. Like if, let's just say, starting a 201 business is not for you, let's get you in Enterprise Studio and start your own business that you have already launched. Like, great, let's get you those resources. And so there's a lot of like, I don't want to turn right, great, let's go left. So.
Yeah. And what's some advice you would give to students coming into the program for the first time, either your advice or maybe something Tom has said?
Yeah, I think a piece of advice is you don't have to put on a show. If you're having a great day, let's celebrate you. If you're not having a great day, let us be there for you. I also think that I have to smile. I should have paid rent more here than I should have in my house, because my house, I was there to sleep. Here, I was here to gain relationships. I know we always say it, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But it is truly beautiful who the Lord puts in your life, and it might just be for a small period of time, but what lesson did they teach you? Or are they supposed to be a lifelong friend that you grow closer with? I always say be grateful for the people in your life, because you don't know when it's going to be that last conversation with them. And I'm not trying to be sad, but it's like a beautiful thing that we have the opportunity to meet so many intentional people, especially in this program. Don't take it for granted, because a lot of people don't get this opportunity. And so I think gratitude is the biggest thing I would say. And I'd also say if there's a knot in your stomach, it's making you uneasy or whatever, it might be a time to look left. And so, like, don't be afraid to pivot. It's hard, don't get me wrong, but have those people who sit at your table there for you. I did get some advice when I was younger. My brother, he said, the 5 people who you surround yourself with will be how successful you are. And I will say, like, and it brings tears to my eyes, like how successful my friends are. I just hope I'm as 4th as successful as them. Or I just hope that I impact them a 4th of just how much they impact me. Because like the way that they take care of you and the way that they make you laugh and smile, it's a beautiful thing. And I also like have to say hats off to my family. My brother is not afraid to tell me, you got to sell those pigs. It's like, I know it's hard, you got to do it. But he's also the person to be like, do you need a hug? But my parents, like, they took probably the most kind of stable jobs Like, but they made 3 entrepreneurs. All my siblings are entrepreneurs. And so it's like kind of crazy to see just like how beautiful it is. Life is supposed to happen the way it is. And I just like hope that everyone knows. And just like working with high schoolers, like I have to tell a lot of them this is, you're enough just the way you are. If you are changing for other people, they're probably not supposed to be in your life for the whole, like your whole life, but for a season. What are you learning from them? And also like, don't take for granted when that person holds the door open for you. Just say thank you. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just great. That's great advice. And I also wanted to know a little bit about what were some of the other activities you were involved in besides the Engler program?
So different things that I got to be involved with was Sigma Alpha. I got to serve as a recruitment chair, and then also the president my last year of college. And then I got to be a part of Kasner Coffee, which is kind of funny because my brother started it when he was in college. So he made sure I was very involved in that. Nebraska Agriculture Youth Council, so NAYC. So I got to have 200 juniors and seniors in the summer. They came to East Campus, and there was 21 of us who got to run a camp and tell them about all the different opportunities within it. But then my biggest thing was Engler and just being involved in being the brave facilitator, recruitment, experienced team, a TA, but also a business owner within the program with not only 1 but 2 businesses for a little part of the time.
Yeah, so always making an impact in whatever role you've been in. And what would you say, like, who do you play for?
I think the people I play for are sometimes the people who don't quite believe it yet. And what I mean by that is, so one of my Clifton strengths is belief. And I truly believe that if you are here in this earth, there should be kindness, gratitude, love, and hope. And I really do, I play for them. Like I play for the person that just needs a little extra like push. But I also play for definitely like my church and my believers who just need someone to speak up. But I also play for the agriculture industry and that we flourish and that we keep educating students about hard work ethic, that they're enough, that this ag industry is not lonely. It's fulfilled with really intentional people. And so I do play for a lot of teams. I have a lot of hats, but no hat is more important than the other. Because I love being an auntie, but I also love sharing stories about the ag industry.
Yeah, I mean, you've done so much and you've given back so much, and now you'll be graduating and going on to your next amazing steps in life. So 20 years from now, what are you going to be most grateful for being in the Engler program?
I'll definitely still have some of these people in my life. I have my girls that are definitely going to be some of my bridesmaids, got some ushers here.
Yeah.
But I do think it's going to be that niche people that when I see them in 20 years, they're not going to ask me, hey, how's it been? It's going to be like, hey, how are pork sales going? Have you gotten this done? How's your family? They're going to be like, we are super, super intentional within this program. So we're not just Facebook friends, but we'll also like comment me like, oh, such a good family, or hey, I'm glad that your dreams are coming true. So it's not just surface level friendship. It's okay to be like your accountability partner, but also your cheerleader, but also the challenger, which sometimes the challenger is really hard to take, but we're super grateful for them too. So I am also, though, super excited to be an alumni and see in 20 years, my nephew will hopefully be throughout this program, and to see the roots stay strong of what Paul's mission is, people launching businesses and knowing that their dreams are not too small.
Yeah, I mean, that's truly what our motto is, making sure that students are okay to go after their dreams right here in the Engler program. So thank you for being here today, Vickie. I've loved learning more about your story, and if we ever need pork or if you have a wedding, you can come and talk to Vickie.
Yeah, 100%. No, and I just want to thank the Engler program for investing in all their students. Like, no student is left behind. So it's a beautiful program and helps not only build people, but it builds communities in the future.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you.